Hello, blessings. Today we are gonna go deep into Jamie's both human design, living by design, as well as the gene keys on how to overcome the shadow. And the intention today is to, since we already had an initial conversation and she's already familiar with some of this stuff, is to just go a little bit deeper into looking energetically into Jamie, because today's all about you and your energy and kind of how the energy works, and maybe allow for the inner wisdom, the energetic frequency wisdom to come through. So if you get any downloads, write them down, because this is all for the purpose of healing, and we heal through purpose, and then we profit from purpose. So we heal by going towards something that's more of a purpose than just focusing on ourselves, right? And then when we understand what that path to purpose is, this is when we begin to make money with our purpose, because we're healing that part of ourselves. Does that make sense? Yeah. So now if you take a look at the screen, and I'll make it bigger, and I just sent you a copy of this to your computer so you can look at it on the computer. And if we look at you as an energetic being, and here's your body graph and human design on the left side, you already know you're a projector, which means you got to wait for the invitations, but we can also create invitations. We'll talk about that. But if you look at this whole graph, the orange triangle that's on the right side, that's your emotions, right? That is your emotions with the 37, 22, 36. So look at the number of gates that are coming out of your emotions as opposed to anything else. It's the most, right? There's the most lines coming out of it from all the other centers. So you've got the emotional center, you've got the heart, and you got the root. These are the things that you can rely on in terms of energy, who you authentically are. And when we look at it at those three centers, they're right there. So your ego is that circle that was colored in, right? You have that? Wait, no. Do you have that colored in? Wait a minute. Let's go back. Oh, here, I wrote it out. Ego, solar plexus, root is what you have defined. So then we go ego, which means you have consistent access to willpower, accountability, negotiations, buying, selling, deal making, and self-worth. So you consistently have access to this. Solar plexus, emotions, intelligence, poetry, art, emotional depth of experiences. And then the root, ambition, drive, growth, goal setting, accomplishments. Okay, you see those three? So we can rely on those things in terms of energy. And why I was mentioning that the emotional one has the most coming out of it, because you can experience a lot of emotions. And as you see through the gene keys, your emotional intelligence is the benefit of the tribe, of the community. So it's like how you learn to process your emotions. Okay, so when we look here at actually maybe easier to go this way here, your projector emotional authority definitions, emotional definitions. So you got to ride the wave and trust your intuition. Profile 4-6. When we look at the channels that you have defined, 40, 37, 49, 18, 30, 41. Let me show you where they are on your map. So 1949. Root connects to the emotions. Wait, do I have? Oh yeah, I have channels in here too. 1949. Tribal supporting energy, which must force be recognized. 3041. Recognition, pressure to experience emotions. And 4037, family, community energy focus on adhering to tribal principle. So the channels that you have, their circuitry, and here I broke it down here, you have 2 tribal channels and 1 collective. And on the next page, you'll see I also copy pasted what these are, these consistent channels are. So there's 3 types of circuits that run in our body. It's the personal, the self, the tribal, and the collective. So you only have tribal and collective. And you're also a 4-6, which means that you have come here to solely be focused on the other, on the community. I'm a 2-4. I have come here to heal myself first through my passions, and then go out to the community and deliver those healing modalities that I have found by healing myself first. You're a 4-6. You have already influence built inside of you to be able to penetrate the other and influence them. So you have only the tribal and collective channel. So 2 tribal and 1 collective. So collective is like a whole world, a whole nation. And tribal is community, love, family, harmony, intimacy. So you can look deeper into those, but that's what, like, the idea of energy is like, there's 3 circuits. Like if you think of circuitry inside of a body, like some people have come here to understand themselves through their own like passion or their own experiment or their own investigation. Some people have come here to understand themselves through the other. And that's how the wiring works. And that's the hard part, is that we think that we all come here to heal ourselves and then we can heal others. But some have come because they have the tribal circuitry to heal themselves through the other. So that's a huge breakthrough that I understood with circuitry, and I wanted to share with you. So you can see I put the channels, the circuitry here, and those defined centers is what you can rely on in terms of energy. So if you look at yourself as energy, you've got those 3 out of 9 centers that are defined. That's who you authentically are. If you don't look at yourself as meat and bones, as energy moving through, you have willpower, you have wisdom, a healthy source of ego. You have emotions that right now may be difficult sometimes to process, but they are actually your superpower. And you'll see through the gene keys how much of a superpower it is. So now your life purpose is you are a natural influencer, where whatever life enhancing things you do in your own life, other people will want to do them too. You won't even have to get them to want it. You just have to be the living, breathing example of the value of your choices and practices. So allow yourself to get really passionate about the things that make life more abundant and enjoyable to you, and then use that to offer someone. I can't move it on the screen, but basically your obsessions are healthy for you. They're infectious. So now, as you see on the right side, right angle cross of contagion, that's your theme, your purpose, to use your influential nature to make other people's life experience better. And the 4-6 is the regal authority. You know, 4 is all about community, is all about family, is all about tribe. And as you grow older, the 6, you're going to become more and more of an authority figure for people. So now where it gets real interesting, I'll just complete my thought here. Conscious sun, your conscious sun is in 30.4, which is your brand, how you play out your creative expression here. And it's actually the tantric path of using desire to awaken your heart. It's about lightening up and becoming looser in your being. That's the key. It's trusting your feelings. That's your brand, your life purpose, your conscious sun. You need not follow them, but trust them. Ooh. How else would you unlock a heightened state known as a rapture? So your whole branding and showing up is all about feelings, is allowing people to feel what you feel. All about friendship, connection, magnetic influence, love, community. So your main life's work and purpose here is to move from hiding behind a fixed view to an honest and open, heartfelt, responding best to integrity, honesty, softness, and romance. Okay. So you've already seen this one. It's going to take you even a little deeper. You see how the top is life's work. It's the same as the conscious sun in human design. The 30.4. You see how it says 0.4 in life's work, and you see how it says 0.4 in evolution. That's the way you see yourself. 4. Community, love. You see, it's the same theme that repeats here. And it just goes a little deeper. And then radiance and purpose, you see how it says 0.6? Line 6. Are you with me? Okay. So if you go to the bottom and you look at your genius, my deepest purpose in life is to manifest the gift of style. To realize my purpose, I need to transform the shadow of mediocrity. And then you have in love, in relationships, my greatest challenge is to transform the shadow of struggle into the gift of perseverance. The highest expression of my heart is ascension. And in prosperity, I unlock my prosperity through the gift of discernment. And discernment is just like your opinion, basically. I undermine my prosperity through the shadow of discord. I thrive best as part of a small team. By the way, that's like Brittany. And a small team is a unit, which is 3 to 5. 3 to 5. Okay. So watch this. Watch this. This is gonna blow your mind. Woo! So your life's, you know how, so the Jinkies, they basically help you go through the shadow into the city, which is the perfection, through the use of your own gift. And your life's work is the brand, is the conscious sun, and that's like the role you play for your creative expression to come through. So yours is, like I mentioned, you're the tantric path of, so it's really funny that everybody's is turning into tantra in our cohort. We're awakening and understanding how we're connected, right? So tantric, of using desire to awaken our hearts. This is your big branding and life's work. It's about lightening up and becoming looser in our being through this key. So you see, I'm on the left side, by the way, reading it. It's trusting your feelings. You need not to follow them, but to trust them. How else will you unlock heightened states known as rapture? So the whole thing is about feelings. Only you can heal the heart, so be gentle. So you see how the shadow goes from desire through the gift of lightness into the rapture, showing this awakening. So then if you look at your evolution, this is the greatest challenge. 29.4. Your greatest challenge here is the power of committing to the present moment with your heart. Do you see that? I'm talking about conscious earth 29. I'm in evolution. That's your conscious earth. So the power of committing to the present moment with your heart. And the line 4 here says, so you see how it says love and community? How you manifest it is through love and community. And your life's greatest challenge is likely to be about finding this balance between being alone and being with others. That's your greatest challenge. Okay, so if you go to the radiance, you see how I'm following a path of the green screens first. If you go to that radiance 14.6, this is your unconscious sun. This is what you've inherited from your father in your past life. And 14 is actually love is a fire. This is the radiance, the essence that you're just broadcasting, radiating to the world. So people can't resist the love. They can't resist the fire when you are doing something that you're purposeful. You feel like you're purposeful. You feel like it's on purpose. People can't resist it. So the way to understand how to live more on purpose is just asking, what form of service do I really want to offer to the world? Which I think you already have started asking yourself plenty of time. And then that line 6 here is about nurturing your dream. All the dream that you have, whether it's swimming, but anything that you've had since a little girl, is nurturing that dream. Sometimes people get disease, and I've talked to many different coaches in the past, is because of their inability to say yes to their childhood dream. Whether it was being a pop star or whatever it is. So then you go to purpose and you go down to 8.6. And this is your unconscious earth, and that's what grounds you. You are the true rebel. The one who has truly released their inner light hasn't even a breath of limitation about them. So your deep fear here, your purpose fear, is the fear of success. And line 6 here, remember how I told you that some of us need to breath, some of us need to move? You are line 6, intent, cells. This is your purpose right there. Your aura is the thing that really does the talking. So the 5th line, purpose, is language and tone. The 4th line, which is me, is breath. Yours is aura, your presence. Regardless of how you express your purpose, you convey it through the intent of the frequency of your aura. So like imagine for me, I'm a 4, 2, 4. I need to breathe my way into purpose with a group of people. Your frequency, your aura does the talking. Let me give you an example. Somebody sitting with me and breathing would have the same benefit as them sitting with you and doing nothing. you This is about you owning that, because you're a 4-6, you're about other people. So when you understand how, like, the power of your influence, your energy, and actually on this page, I gave you at the bottom more explanation about each one of these lines. Oops, how do I go back? Come on. How do I get out of full screen? So I can show you, and you can obviously make it more legible for yourself. But if you look at the bottom here, I gave you more information about the lines. And the way that I find lines in this big ass document, because I understand that's only a nerd thing to do, what I did. But if you go Command Find, and then you just write, like, let's say, for example, purpose line, you're trying to find this line 6, or you can use the word intent, or you can use the word purpose line. Let's say we use the word intent. If you do Command Find and you just write the word intent, look, it found 7 matches. Oh, one of them is here, and then it will take you to another page where there's intent. Intent. Okay, that's not the one we needed. Bam. Oh, this is sorry, this is intent inside of your 6th line inside of your radiant, which is for the 0.6, right? Because you have 4-6, the nurturer. So you can also read that. But if you click again, look, it took you to the purpose intent. So purpose is like, it's understood on the cellular level of awareness, and it streams through the whole physical body. So for example, because you have influence, you telling somebody, for example, that my services are really good will influence them to come and want to work with me. I don't have that. I show through my physical body by doing these tantric events. I show people through breath work, through physical body, that I'm here. Your being, and actually Brittany also has line 6 intent. So it's really interesting that you both thrive in a unit and you have a few commonalities like this. Like, also her aura speaks for itself. I'm just excited to see how we can develop this. Yes, and develop this further for you two. Okay. Oh, the cool thing that I also found is this. So this also explains the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and look at the pictures, and how, like, the 1 is like your brand, is how you shine your light. This is your sun. The 2 is how you ground your experiences here on earth. The 3 is how you radiate health through your body. The 4, your purpose, is your dharma, your soul's purpose. The 5 is how you magnetize to play out your karma. The 6, yeah, so if you look at these when you're reading these jinkies, it makes it very easy, much easier to understand. Cool stuff, huh? So now, like, if you're going down from the purpose, if we're going up, your purpose is you're the true rebel, right? The one who has truly released their inner light hasn't a breath of limitation inside of them. So your greatest fear is the fear of success. That's your greatest fear. That's for us to transmute right in this lifetime, so you can be you and let your aura speak for itself. So the rebel who truly released their inner light hasn't a breath of limitation. So your biggest thing is the fear of success. And when you embody this, like, 4-6 inside of you, and influence and healing through the other, is like when you understand that, like, your frequency does the talking, because it's on an intent level, it's on a cellular level. It's mind-blowing, because our whole life we were trained to think that we had to do things. So each one of us plays a totally different role. And for you, it's your aura, it's your frequency that plays that. So then if you go down from the purpose to the attraction, that's your dharma. Have you ever heard the karma dharma words before?
Yeah.
So karma is our desires that arise that we want to manifest. Like relationships, house, money, children, car, travel, a new mug, all of these different things, like those are karma, right? Desires that arise. Dharma is the duty to fulfill the karma. So what this means in easy terms is, for example, if you want to have a family and then you have children, that's a karma. That's a desire that arises. Then your duty, your dharma, is to take care of these children, even if you don't want to, because you have to clear the karma. Funny, right? And our whole life we spend clearing our karma. So there's a next level to this called sadhana. Sadhana is space, creating space and working out the dharma. So working out the duty without creating new karma. That's like the highest state. And Gene Keys, like the whole idea behind Gene Keys is how to feel prosperous living a simple life. You know, just like what you're doing in an RV, like finding ways to just enjoy and not be mesmerized by the rat race and the living in the matrix, and just finding what your own peaceful by design life looks like. So as you're going from the purpose to this attraction field, attraction is how do you attract, it just explains how you attract things into your life for you to manifest. So the karma that you create, attraction explains how you attract those things that you want to manifest. So for you, and by the way, it's also the attractor field is the sphere that opens up the tantra. So for you, actually, because your 59th sphere is intimacy. Intimacy is the key to manifesting equilibrium in the world. So you were right on it when you were like, started talking to me about intimacy and tantra, because that's your sphere right here. Through intimacy and honesty, you will be able to manifest more of the things that you desire. So the shadow here is dishonesty, is not being truthful to yourself, not speaking your mind, not being honest in your interactions. Through the gift of intimacy, and what's intimacy? Into me, I see. To transparency. And the line 4 here is all about romance, going toward romance, response to romance. You have to be gentle with yourself to bring yourself back to life. So the 4th line has extreme capacity for intimacy. An open heart and an open sexuality is an awesome thing to behold. So that's your unconscious moon. The attraction field is the unconscious moon. That's how we attract into our life all the things that we want to fulfill, all the karmic things that we want to manifest. And it's obviously happening on a subconscious level. So it's like the more you broadcast, you know, intimacy and understanding your intimacy and being honest in the interactions with others, the more you'll be able to attract more of the things that you desire with ease. How is that so far?
Good.
Good, right?
Yeah. Especially the gentle part, like definitely. Yeah.
But then the next three spheres, they explain like the essence of what happened between 15 and 21, then 8 to 14, then 0 to 7. So it's like it's mind-blowing. So your IQ is the mental. And you have 54. Where's 54? Did I find 54? Oh yeah, 54. IQ on the left side. IQ, conscious. Oh, by the way, this sphere is the conscious Venus. 54. You have it both in IQ and SQ. And it's got nothing to do with talent. To aspire for greatness, you must breathe in this question of service. How can I best be of service? Because see, it's going from shadow of greed through the gift of aspiration. And when you start asking yourself these questions, how can I be of service? This is when ascension happens. So the sixth line here is the line that's designed to serve the mental plane without an agenda.
I guess that makes sense why this job is like weighing on me, because it doesn't allow me to live in flow.
Makes sense. So then the EQ, the 22, is graciousness under pressure. So here the EQ is all about emotions. So all the cause of pain and suffering that we have in our relationships comes directly from EQ. And this is our emotions. And our emotions we've acquired between the ages of 8 and 14. Because when it happens, when relationships, when people are not getting along, they're fighting, it's just two childhood wounds. And this is what explains the childhood wound here. So the shadow here is dishonor in the path of graciousness to grace. So being in grace under pressure. When two people are in disagreement, it's just two childhood wounds, aka EQ, being fighting against each other. So for you, it's self-esteem, self-sabotage. You see this line? Oops. You see the line 1? Move this. Self-esteem, self-sabotage. I also have this line. Okay, so more explanation. I think I put it here. What is this? It's EQ line 1. Did I put it here?
How can I see that?
It's on the bottom. Scroll down. So it's in the whole document. So all you have to do is to find different parts of this, it's just Command F and just find one of the keywords.
Okay, so put self-sabotage.
So for example, yeah, if you go Command F and you want to find that in the document, Command F, you can either type the word EQ and the word line together. Let's try that. EQ line. Now it didn't work. So then look for, let's say, sabotage. Look, only 6 results. Great. You get to look through 6 and to see if that's the one. So we're looking for EQ line 1, right? So then if we hit enter,
Okay, yeah.
wait, did you find it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so read that line 1.
You can see from this first line that the whole foundation stone of our emotional wound is the issue of self-esteem. Depending on the patterns that developed in our first 7-year cycle, some of us will carry deeper issues of self-esteem than others. The focus of the first line is always inward. So at a low frequency, this is a self-undermining pattern. You want me to read more?
I mean, if it doesn't make sense, or do you need more information?
No, it makes sense.
So what I did is basically I just copy it and I just put the different lines underneath here. But you can also copy paste them into another page. You can put this all together. Like the whole document is basically just an encyclopedia.
Okay.
And you just copy paste the different lines. So here, how it shows up in relationships is, how would you describe this now? Like how can the relationship benefit from you knowing this information?
Like my intimate relationships, you're saying?
Yeah.
I guess I can be more self-aware of how I behave, or the way I react or things I say. Especially being emotional, combined with this, right? With the self-sabotage and self-esteem, like, yeah.
So this is like, well, education is about awareness. And when you have awareness, then CEQ 22 is graciousness under pressure. You have access to this. This is who you authentically are. This is your sphere. So now when you are triggered by something, you remember that you have access to grace, being graceful under pressure. And it all comes from your own like self-sabotage, from your own self-esteem. And what helps with this, with the embodiment of all this, is that SQ, which is the 0 to 7. And your SQ is line 1, is about certainty. It's about rhythm and routine. You thrive best when you have a certain rhythm and a routine in place.
When I have a certain rhythm and a routine in place. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's what helps you reprogram this early childhood 0 to 7 and go from greed into ascension, which is the 54. You have a theme of the 54, important. So you take a look at that. And it's all about aspiring for greatness. Breathing in that question of how can I be of greatest service to the whole. So your routine is what, like routine, it puts you in this rhythm of feeling certain and feeling stable. That's your love point.
Feeling stable is my love point.
Yeah, it's certainty. Gives you certainty. Yeah. And that's through rhythm and routine. We're almost finished.
Oh, we are?
No, well, we have those three left. So now okay, we come back to the vocation, which is, remember how I talked about our genius imprinting and also the collective wound that we carry? Basically,
Yeah.
what we're doing in this life is broadcasting our collective wound and healing together collectively with honesty. So your collective wound, because it's point of one, it's a repression. And you heal it with honesty.
Where is that?
Vocation. Vocation is your talent.
Oh, got it.
And your greatest wounding. And then here's the wounding chart is on the 29th. Your line 1. Repression. And you can see how it comes off if it's collective, racial, planetary, and the healing virtual is honesty. And the 38th sphere here is the warrior of the light. The shadow here is fighting or struggling without a purpose.
What I'm currently doing.
The 38 gene key sets the pattern of all human struggle, the struggle of all form to reach spirit. This is represented by the quest of the inner warrior of light against the dark forces of our own lower nature. So the line 1, by the way, your role is to give birth to new ideas, new inventions, new approaches, new paradigms. You see line 1, production, originality. You have that inside of yourself to be original and bring new ideas to the table.
And where can I, like, what slide has the lines, like the line breakdown?
So you can see some of them I wrote down here because I copy pasted them. But if you want to find them, you just
Command
F. Yeah, but let's see if I did this one. Vocation line 1, it's right here. Production, the script writer. There are currently around 7 billion people on our planet. This means that statistically over 1 billion have first line vocation. These people are the midwives of our common nature. It is through the first line that new impulses and initiative enter the world. This does not obviously mean that if you don't have this, you're not creative. However, we've always seen people whose role is to give birth. You're the mama birth to new inventions, new approaches, new paradigms. So for you in business is to refine, organize such incentives so that they can be of service to the whole. If you have the first line vocation, you are the purest sense, a channel for the creative evolutionary impulse. Your strength is in your creativity. However, of 1 billion people who have the first line, it is likely that very few of them actually live their true creative vocation. It takes courage to break new ground. It takes dedication, focus, and periods of sustained aloneness, as well as a lot of self-doubt to become a true creator. So if you have this first line vocation, then apply it to the theme of the gene key of the sphere, and you will instantly see in which domain your creativity lies. You are here to create something that carries this gift and the city out into the world to others. Vocation line 1 is the script writer, the one who hatches the idea. However, it is one thing to have the idea, but quite another to put it into form. So this is the difference between the genius and the non-genius. Genius is about implementation, hard work, and dedication. To write a great script, you have to throw yourself into the work. You have to live inside the idea. It's what we talked about in the beginning. So you have to refine it, define it, and polish it until it shines. So as a first line, your responsibility is to follow the creative impulses whose higher purpose is to serve the whole. Right? The greatest challenge for the first line is realizing their limitation and finding the right allies to help bring their transmission into the world. This requires surrender. You have no idea how the idea will be reshaped or received. This is part of the process, and this is out of your hands. Your job is to simply write the script and then place yourself in service of its message. As a first line, your gifts do not lie in the domain of marketing, publicity, strategy, sales, or vision. Once you have been true to the heart of your message, most of your job is done. The rest is up to those with whom you forge an alliance. Production means that you are simply the assembly line for an idea, for a new form to emerge into the world. So that's your vocation. And actually in the poster that I have created that I'll be taking to the seminar with us, you'll see how I describe life purpose. I want to show you, appreciate this. Wait, how do I share my PowerPoint presentation? Wait. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so the finding your purpose is about that which you love, that which you are good at. Trying to get it bigger. That which you love, that which you're good at, that for which you can be paid, that which the world needs. So it's mission, passion, profession, and vocation. And vocation we just talked about, it's that rare genius imprinting at conception. So vocation is like the reason why it describes that wounding is because we all get a collective, a piece of the collective wounding in our moms 9 months prior to our birth. When we understand what that is, and we learn to go through that process of transformation, we realize that that's our superpower. So our suffering becomes our success. It's our greatest gift and talent. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
So yours was line 1, which is repression, right? Repression.
Mm-hmm.
So look more deeply into understanding this and how to heal it with more honesty. For myself, for example, line 3, shame. This is why I'm like shameless high ticket offer selling, shameless storytelling. Like, because my whole life I was ashamed to show up. And then I learned how to healing virtual on humor, how to laugh at myself, how to laugh at the world, how to giggle at everything like a little kid. Going from being ashamed, being who I am, to humor. So now you get to figure out in your life where you feel like you've been repressed. What's been causing this repression? And how you can go to being honest with your feelings, with your ideas, with your authenticity in your relationship. You can even look up like what's the opposite of repression. Because when I looked up what's the opposite of shame, I didn't know it was shameless. And that resonated so deeply because it's like, okay, shameless truth selling. shamelessly being in truth. Like these words resonated with me. Like the words having courage and things like didn't resonate with me as much as like these words, being shameless. Because it's like I'm broadcasting to someone else, but I'm really broadcasting to me. Because it's like shamelessly sell your truth, be yourself, shamelessly. So that's the words that help me and they help other people.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I guess it's kind of like the Mercury too, right? I guess if you can merge
Yeah.
it.
So here, if we go to your Mercury, I put this in for you as well. Conscious Mercury is all about raising our consciousness. So you have that serpent's energy, serpent's path. So there's a great drive within the human DNA to seek answers that can bring an end to suffering and longing. In the shadow frequency, this pressure creates stress and fear. In the higher frequency, it generates creativity and aspirations to rise up to greater spiritual awakening. And I think you've got some more keywords that came from the book or from the app about your conscious Mercury, right?
Well, when we talked and you used a website, you told me it was
Relationship and transformation, yes.
Yeah.
So from this resource, it says that you're the serpent's path.
The serpents or the servant?
Serpent path. Serpent is a snake.
Huh. Where does it say that? I'm looking at it on the PowerPoint.
26.
Yeah, I'm there. I don't see the conscious Mercury.
The 54th gene key is all about raising our consciousness.
Serpent's path. Got it.
So you have a few different words to play with.
Okay.
And where I got these words is first from that URL that you have, right? Where I put it? Right here. Oh wait, maybe I should highlight it in yellow or something for you. Yeah, you love highlights.
Yes, I love colors.
If you want, so this is what this URL. Why doesn't it show as a URL? Oh, kind of here. This URL is what. Oh no, you can't see it at all.
There you go.
Oh, well, you'll know it's there. It's up top.
Mm-hmm.
This URL is where I went to go get these, but of course there's a few more resources. But yeah, 0 to 7. Oh wait, we were here. Vocation. So vocation is that pre-birth 9-month gestation. Actually, let me put that in here for you. 9-month. So you see how it goes 15, 21, 8, 14, 0, 7. And this is 9-month.
Where's 0 to 7?
In the middle. That's your love point.
Oh, there, I see it now. Okay, 0 to 7. Yep.
And then it's 54. You see on the left side, 54 IQ and SQ, nothing to talent to aspire for greatness. So then you got your core wound, your greatest talent, your gift, and the 9-month gestation.
What does this chord mean?
Where are you?
Culture.
The shadow of this gene key directly blocks you from your prosperity. So let's go. We only realize our fellowship once we begin to listen to each other's needs. So by the way, you jumped ahead a little. Going from vocation, that's the 9-month gestation and core wounding and your greatest talent. We creatively learn how to broadcast that vocation, our greatest talent, our wounding, through culture. And culture is, like I said, so you see how you have a 0.3? that line, you operate as a unit. So we gotta find a way to connect now, you with Brittany or anyone else that you feel that also needs a unit, because it's got to be a, you got to see how you can manifest success through this idea of unit. So then once you begin to listen to each other, so the 13 is listening through love. We only realize our fellowship once we begin to listen to each other's needs and agendas. When we listen from a higher frequency of our hearts, our mind becomes still. We begin to hear what's really being said. We begin to feel the hidden higher purpose behind everything. We begin to remember the secret. When we listen to our heart, we begin to see hope in everything around us. So if you want to find more information about this Discord word, if that wasn't explainable enough, all you got to do is go to that website and it will explain it to you.
Okay.
What do you think it is based on what I just read? What do you think it means if the
Like disconnect, kind of? I don't know.
Right, correct. So if 13 is a sphere of listening through love, this is how you broadcast this is how you make your vocation, put it out into the world, is by listening through love. We only realize our fellowship once we begin to listen to each other's needs and agendas. We get out of the way, understand the heart frequency. So by listening through love, the essence of this is empathy, right? If you go here, you will see what Discord means if you want to.
Okay.
If you want to go deeper. And this was key what?
13.
Oh, I already had it. Key 14, key 13. Listening through love. So here, see, you can read about each one much more.
Okay.
And then you can copy
perfect.
into your presentation. So, oh, you go here. The shadow of discord, chemistry of pessimism. Discord is an acoustic term. It's about only hearing the unnerving heaviness of the sound of shadow frequencies. It's seeing only the crisis and reporting the bad news. It's tuning into the vibration of chaos. That's the programming of the mass consciousness. We believe what we're told to believe until we break out of that. We begin to question the status quo. Fear that the world is going down creates great worry. How painful and narrow-minded stress is, engaging with it, drowning it. So take things slow, one thing at a time. Remember your true self, discern. Oh, discord, discerning. Okay. And allow your dreams to live through you. So discernment is the voice of the heart. Listening to the heart in silence, stillness. So when we listen to the heart beyond the emotion and the reactions, we realize the connection. Loving kindness.
Love and kindness.
So that's how your genius is broadcasted to the world, through being a listener with love, with empathy, in a unit. So then it all goes into the pearl, the 55 here. This is how you experience prosperity. By going from victimhood through the gift of freedom and becoming the very essence of freedom. And the biggest thing is all humans will eventually realize the state of inner freedom. That's your 55. And the line 4 here is charity, which is also what I have. This is why intuitively I started that nonprofit 501c3. And now I'm working with, we all working together in this Empire of Love Foundation. And let's find a way on how to create this more of a charity that gives back through our way, through our being, through our successes to others. So what are some of the key takeaways? If we go back and do the human design first and look at the chart.
Community, community, community. That's all I keep hearing. Which is what I was, intended on doing anyways. Just trying to figure out how.
So remember now, do you understand that you have the power of influence?
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand that you can heal through others? And what does that mean? It means putting others in the center of the universe as opposed to putting yourself there.
That's interesting because my throat, right, isn't like defined, and so it's hard for people to listen to me. I have to find ways of not luring, but just like attracting people in other ways because so
So
far
there's a process of deconditioning the throat, right? In here, in your document. And what is the process of deconditioning the throat? Deconditioning the throat.
okay.
So for example, if there's something you truly believe in, like when somebody understands themselves and their purpose, let's say, then they can live a better, more joyous, more free life. Let's say Dasha can help you read your chart, right? Then you have the power of influence and people listen to you to navigate them. 2, let's say you believe in the power of the water. When you embody that and embody also the fact that somebody just being in your auric field, see, in your purpose point 6, just being around you heals no matter what you do, then you don't work as hard. But it requires for you to believe and keep taking people out and keep pulling people outside their comfort zone to go with you on the journey, making it about them. Because people don't know that what we have is the answer to their prayer until we value it in ourselves and find the right words to help bridge the gap from where a person is now to where they want to go. And because you have 3 channels, right? So you've got the 3 channels, 4037, family, 4919, supporting energy, 3041. 2 of them are tribal, 1 is collective. So the tribal is all community, family, tribe. Collective is cosmic. There's no self there. So it's not about you. You probably think the song is about you. The level of influence that you have is bigger than the level of influence that I have. So you get to influence people now to what you believe is the truth.
Okay.
What else can we take away from this? And wow, I didn't realize how long we were going to be on here, but I feel like it was useful.
It is. It really is.
I know this is a lot, but the more that you look at this, the easier it will be. And like the more that you look at also like this, right? And all the images here and what it is, and just kind of going back and forth.
Okay.
And you have access to this, so that's the cool part too.
When do you think we can start trying to design something?
Well, we're gonna have to do this based on this. So now you're gonna get more and more downloads to the types of things that you want to do and collaborate on. So there's emotions has come up here a lot. Intimacy has come up here. So now we just have to figure out which part you want to play in this awakening story.
Intimacy and which other one? What's the other?
Emotions.
Emotions, yeah.
Emotional intelligence, huge.
And intimacy.
You've got the tantric path of using desires to awaken your heart. Trusting your feelings, that's the big one for you. Trusting feelings. You don't even need to follow them, just trust them. Trusting feelings, intimacy, honesty, purpose, creativity. You got creativity. Healing through creativity. And right now, I guess your creativity is the ocean. You're painting experiences with the water, right?
Yeah.
That's creativity. That's originality. So where you see vocation, you're the line 1 production, your originality. you come up with the script of how this is going to go down. You may create something revolutionary that hasn't been before, a transformational path with the water. Maybe a new device to breathe underwater. So now we gotta listen to this, and we gotta keep meditating on this and trusting our aha moments of how we can bring this together.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'll have more time now, most likely, so. And I don't want to get another job that's gonna substitute my time. So I just want to start working on this.
So the biggest thing for you to decide is how we can use your superpower best and your love and community to benefit the whole. Because you have the power of influence, right? And I am here with the system. So my gifts must be recognized in order for them to be pulled out.
When you say recognize, what do you mean by that?
It means that I can't directly influence the way that you can. I've spent years in my passions because of the two, in isolation to build on those gifts. And now like the world wants to pull it out of four. But you're a dominant four, which is your influence as your dominant state. For me, that's a subconscious. I get pulled out into the world by people like you that are already like focused on community, love as the main thing.
Will
So
you be hosting like more like workshops, you think, coming up?
yes. And finding a way in which we can get you compensated for setting these things up or being more community focused and attracting more the community and the love and collaboration.
Yeah. I don't know. Because I know I feel strongly about, you know, just focusing on starting my offering, but there's always that concern of like the income, not having a steady income. But I know it's just a fear. I don't know.
So then how do we overcome that? We create a game plan strategy to use the gift correctly. You could be the catalyst of community events on the beach, for example.
Okay.
If we put it into a matter of perspective, how much do you need a month?
I can survive with like 600 to 700. That's like cutting it. Because I literally looked at my monthly expenses without including food and gas, and I'm at like 496. And I haven't included, like I said, my living stuff. That's just things that come out monthly.
So let's say 1,500.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, that works.
like, an event on the beach, even let's say a full moon, ceremony once a month. How many people would you need to have there paying even a small amount of money to get the 1,500, for example? Let's put it in perspective. Or we can do twice a month, new moon and full moon. Let's
Okay,
say,
because if I do 15 divided by 15 people, that's everybody has to pay $100, which I have to offer. I don't know what I have to offer to do that. But if it's twice, then
but
50.
remember your influence, so there could be a lot more people than you're thinking. So let's say it's twice and it's 750. And think of it in bigger ways. And it's not about what you're offering, because when you use the power of your influence to set up this community and event, you plug in the people that will do their offering, and they will sell for themselves their own offering. You just do your part, bringing the community together.
Together. Okay.
You get paid for that. The practitioner who does the breath work, they will get their own by upselling. Everyone plays a piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
So if it's 750, let's say, what's $20 each person? 750 divided by 20, for example.
37.5.
Okay, so 38 people. 38 people to show up for a $20 event. How hard is that, do you think?
It shouldn't be too hard. From people that I personally know directly, I don't think I know that many people, but
No, that's
if
not
I broadcast it,
right.
yeah,
That's what we're talking about.
yeah, it shouldn't be bad. That should be simple.
So
Yeah, that could be simple.
that's step one. Before even creating another offering, here is a way to figure out how to fit into the community, and now playing with others and also getting paid.
Okay.
And you get to decide, when you're bringing somebody in, because you have the power of influence, because you have this capability that it's just your aura. Now you bring people in, and now you decide, like, am I gonna share with them, and are they gonna share with me, or am I gonna take all of this money for me and let them keep all of theirs? So for example, you bring a person like myself, you pull me out of my hermit, and you say, Dasha, you are guiding this. Either we split both, or I get this, and you, if you want to pitch your thing at the end of your providing of service, I gave you the stage to do that.
Oh, I see. Kind of like commission, like sales, like kind of like you make your own money, but
Right.
you were brought into the space. Okay.
So because you have the power of influence, we have to learn how to use your energy the right way, because it's easier for you. And let's say you decide, okay, yes, I'm going to do that, and it's going to be on the beach. When you say yes, and then we start creating that vision, things come into alignment. People show you how to put it on Eventbrite if you don't know yourself. Like, you start learning how to create these bigger events. Maybe even join another person. Maybe there's going to be 50 people that are going to show up just because you said yes to this, to your power of influence, and started collaborating. And then you bring in people like myself to sit in and do the thing. Until you're figuring out what's next. But this is how to use your powers the right way. If you want to do it, if you want to do the physical thing.
Yeah, I like that.
And it can be in an environment of your choosing. So then look at what you're doing. You're leveraging the power of your own influence, your defined centers, your willpower, your emotions, your root, your groundiness. You're leveraging the power of your influence, your divine centers, your channels, which is all about tribe community that's dominant. And now pulling other people into your sphere, because we're a mastermind, to play their own parts.
Okay.
Anything that has to do with community, tribe, love, and connection, like this is your cream de la crop. Magnetic influence. Right now, this may be unfamiliar because you haven't yet experimented on how to make this happen. So it may seem like a big elephant.
Yeah. I've never hosted an event, but you have, so
I've hosted many events, and well, it was successful in a way that it gave me experience, but incorrect for the energy type because I didn't have yours. So there's a simple way of setting up events and using like Eventbrite, Meetup, Facebook group, like leveraging all events, like leveraging all these things, setting it up, making it attractive, and then bringing, or even first talking to somebody who could, move the whole thing and putting them at the spotlight and description, allowing for it to sell out with influence.
And what components do you think I should bring to the table? I know meditation, yoga type of thing, right? Breath work, tantra.
I mean, intimacy, relationship to relationship transformation, intimacy, right? So play with these words, with the emotions, emotional freedom, trusting your emotions. So these are the kind of words to play with when it comes to your offering. But you have the power of influence, I'm saying, and people like myself in your circle that need people like you to be pulled out to be part of the community into more events. Like the way that you connect naturally, because it's your dominant state, is a gift. Mark, like the way that you know these people, like you know them, now you got to plug us in with them, with the bigger, and find a way to monetize it. Just like I said, it's an idea, new moon, full moon, in an environment that you like. See how you can leverage your energy of influence and your willpower, your emotions, and your root to make this happen.
Okay. Can we like keep checking in on that and like,
Well, let's create a milestone for you
yeah.
to create. I know that this may be like such a big elephant now, but it may not be once you do it a few times, you know?
Okay.
So what is some way that I can hold you accountable for experimenting with this? Because this is all an experiment, right?
Um, I wouldn't say check in weekly. I feel like that's like not enough. Um, Maybe by like a certain date, kind of have like the blueprint, even though again, I don't really know, but I'll just do some research, look around.
What do you need to do research on?
Like other type of events that maybe are like similar to what I'm looking for, maybe, or I don't know.
You
I don't
just
know.
Yeah, you just copy, like if you decide like, okay, we're gonna do a new moon and a full moon.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. It's like transitions, like of I don't know, like they're phases, right? They bring different energies. And the oceans and energy too. Like
Yeah.
that's powerful in itself.
If you look at your if at page 27, and that shows you your circuits.
Hold on, I don't know where it went. Oh, here. Okay. Page, what page again?
27.
27. Oh, okay, 27. Okay. The circuitry you're saying?
Mhm.
The two tribal, one collective?
Mhm.
Okay.
So you've got some really great keywords here and like understanding of your circuitry, of the energy that's running through your body.
Okay.
This is going to give you the most clarity when it comes to how to propose this, both in terms of events and in terms of the words to use. You have harmony, you have aloneness, you have intimacy, wisdom, fantasy, desire, community, recognition, connection.
Okay. How about we check in next week?
So what is your dream work by next week? Since I gave you such a big download. And you know, I'm really curious because I know that this is like so much more advanced that I even know. And the fact is, I've already experimented with this, and that's not, my energy was not used correctly. So now and we're a mastermind, right? Now you are part of who I am because we're together in this. So we're learning how to use your energy correctly with my energy and slowly bringing in the other energies that we have around us so that everybody prospers by working with their energy the right way. Do you know what I mean? Like right now, we don't know until you try the power of your influence and understanding that your tribal collective, like it's, and how that will magnetize the success, the cohesive success to all of us, until you try it, right? Until you put this into practice and you're like, okay, event, I need to show up on all the platforms. All right, what's a flyer? So you use me as a resource because I've done this before. But you just got to make a commitment to, okay, this is how I'm going to test using the power of my influence to both heal myself through purpose and be profitable. And you can use these words, right? Like you can use the words that you have in your chart. So if you look at 27, like you have the word community, harmony, intimacy, fantasy. You can create from your own words the event and then plug us in.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter how many people show up in the beginning. Like right now, we're learning how your energy works with other energies, how it will be attracted by you broadcasting like about the tribe, about the collective, like using your powers, influence, your define centers the right way, your willpower. You're attracting them through the emotion, right? So the ad, like, well, how the marketing is gonna be emotional. It's gonna go straight into the heart of the matter, into the heart of the emotion, and touch on this 27, on this community, intimacy, harmony, to realize your fantasy. So these are literally the words that are inside the quotes inside of your channels.
Try. Okay.
It's on 27.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Let's see.
And it like once you start, because this is creating, this is purpose, like this, once you start creating it, let's say you say, Dasha, like, I need you to show up over here, this is how we're collaborating, and your 3740 here wants you to create an agreement, social and business contract and deal. It wants you to create an agreement between pieces of you, which is me. I'm just a piece of you, like, right, we're pieces of a puzzle. So now you get to create an agreement that's going to make you feel like a win. Like, I don't know how many people are going to show up, or we're broadcasting, so it doesn't matter. I come because you told me to come, because you pull me outside of my hermit. Even if there's only one person sitting in the audience, it doesn't matter. We gain momentum.
Do you think we should try to do it for free at first, or just charge for right away? Charge, right? I think we should charge. Yeah.
And you get to create beautiful flyer. Use Canva for free.
For free? I pay for mine.
Oh, well, yeah, you have more advanced features.
Yeah.
We paid for it recently too, but I'm saying you can use these words and then pull me in, and then, like, we all play a piece of the puzzle as we gain momentum together.
This is crazy. Okay.
Let's
do it after April.
You
want to do it after April?
I have two channels. One, helping people make the impossible possible. I have one that's self. So I demonstrate how I've done the impossible possible. Events, books, impossible possible. And then for others, sacred sales and sacred marketing, sacred sales and marketing. So you can start the momentum, and now you know I have sacred sales and marketing, and be like, hey, sacred sales and marketing, what else do I do in here?
Okay. Should we do this event within during April, or do you want to wait until after your workshop?
Oh, we don't have to wait for anything. When is the full moon coming up in March?
That's a
I
great
mean,
question.
the question is, when do you need some money?
I need it ASAP. Um,
You answer your own question.
coming up. Full moon coming up. It says the next full moon will be Thursday, April 6th at 12:34.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, maybe it'll have to be April 5th because the moon will still appear full the night before and after its peak to the casual stargazer.
Great.
So I don't know.
That's a good date, April 5th. You get to decide.
Okay.
So now
Ah!
you get to decide.
Exciting. Okay.
You get to decide, is it 2 hours? Like, what's happening? Like, you get to get creative. You get to decide how much we charge for it. You get to decide all these things.
Okay. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like called to for it to be like a woman's event, but maybe that's like closing the doors for me.
Whatever you want it to be. If it's women's, obviously you can even do it more than just a full moon. Like, there could be transformation, like it could be several hours, it could be more than $20. Like, you tune into what you want it to be.
Okay.
Use these words: harmony, intimacy. Use the words that come from your
Channels.
defined centers.
Circuits.
Right. So the ego, the solar plexus, the ambition. Use all of this terminology, the wounding terminology. Use it all to create something beautiful, and then let us join in.
Okay. Let's do it.
But April 5th?
Ah! Oh my God. Okay, April 5th, right? I think.
So you just got to figure out how much you want to make walking away from this, and then tune into this number, and then we work backwards.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely need help figuring out like how to pay people out, unless we just go all half. Like, we just break it down amongst whoever's there, but I don't know.
So just think of
But yeah,
you.
I'll play around. Yeah.
Just think of you first and what you want to walk away with. And then we work backwards.
Okay. Okay.
And remember, the funny thing is that you can create whatever you want. Like, in the part of this event, I mean, it doesn't have to be limited to just a ceremony. You can put like the different skill sets that, like, for example, that I have. You make me play the part. You can put understand your gene keys. Understand your human design gene keys, and Tantra for intimacy, and then you just tell me to come play my part. And you get to put the price point on it that you want. But it's up to you if you want to start with just ceremony or if you want to go bigger.
Go
So,
bigger. Yeah.
and like, I've seen that, like, just people understanding human design is like, and they're doing it online, $88 for, like, I think an hour or 2 hours, I forgot. But I'm just saying, like, that if you think bigger, and I'm just here playing a part because your influence will bring them in. I play the part. We make a contract.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let me brainstorm a little bit. I already have some ideas coming up, but
And you have myself, you have Brittany.
I want Brittany to be there. I'm thinking, hopefully, because I've been trying to get.
So just use these words. Use the words that are, because we're part of you. We've come to show you you. Now you use your words and you pull us so you can see you by us doing a certain thing from the room and see which parts you like.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's check in early next week then, like Monday.
Yes. Would you put that on both of our calendars? And now from now on, I'm your bitch. Hey, how the roles have reversed. Now you know your influence and power. Now you influence me with your power.
Okay. Check in with Dasha. Would you prefer morning or night? I mean, or late afternoon?
Afternoon is better for me.
Okay, around what time? Ish.
Whatever we did today is good.
Today we talked around like 2.
Okay, look at that 3-hour session. I think you have gotten more value than anybody I know. Because I love you. I love you.
I love you too. Okay. All right, so let me send you a thingamajigger. Hold on. Yep.
I am so absolutely excited about this.
I know.
Finding how your energy works, and let's see. I mean, for all I know is that all the things that I've ever done have been a gift for you and everybody that's coming across. So you can ask me in between now and the 5th as you're setting things up, anything that you want about events.
Okay.
Voice memo or text me, like as you're setting it up, whatever price point, however the image, like whatever you have questions with when it comes to events, you get to spearhead this, but you've got me in your back pocket. Asana has done events, so you get to what's her name? Josephine can differentiate if something's gonna work, not gonna work. Like you get to run all these things by us and get input to polish the diamond.
I'm gonna be contacting all of you.
So by what's done by Monday?
Like I said,
I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
oh, like a rough blueprint of like what I would like, and see if there's anything that you think that should be taken out or added or adjusted or yeah.
Cool. So use feelings, harmony, intimacy, all the words that come up in your own, because this is all you. We're just coming for you to realize you. So you like what Brittany does with the movement, plug it in. You like what I do with whatever I do, plug it in.
And body work.
You want pressure, dearmoring,
Yes.
whatever, or if you want to call it something else through your own way in channeling, because that's what resonates with you.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna contact Britt, see what she says.
Oh, you don't need to do that. You actually
No?
create a dream and you tell her what she's playing a part in.
What if she's not available that day?
What
What if she's not available?
Somebody will play it.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Wait, hold on. Let me. I tried.
By the way, the van looks awesome.
What happened?
Man looks amazing.
Ah, thank you. No, wait until you see her in person.
Okay, come over whenever in 2 days. I'm here working.
Okay, cool. I'll see you soon then.
Yeah, love you.
I love you, Dasha.
I
If you
love.
want to share this call with the girls, it's fine.
Okay, I love you.
I love you, Dasha. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Oh wait, can you send me the recordings?
It's
Yes.
gonna be one long recording. Love you.
Yeah, because it broke up in parts. But no worries. I love you. Love you, love you, love you. Bye.